The role of passion or duty in a career path. What is the difference between passion and duty? In a world of constant change and upheaval, it can be difficult to determine the difference between what we should do out of duty and what we should do out of passion. Some people may argue that the two are one and the same, while others may claim that they are completely separate entities. The debate over passion and duty is one that has been around since ancient times and is likely to continue long into the future. The dictionary defines passion as strong emotion, excitement, or enthusiasm. Duty, on the other hand, is defined as something that is required of one by law, social custom, or moral obligation. So what is the difference? Duty typically connotes an obligation or responsibility that one has to fulfill, an important task that must be done. Passion, on the other hand, can be directed toward any number of things in life and does not necessarily carry with it an obligation. How can you find your passion in your career? Look for high points throughout the day. Pay close attention to how you spend your time and money. Consider things you enjoy teaching or discussing with others. Consider your advantages. Examine the particulars. Investigate several employment options. Finding your passion is a never-ending, sometimes lifelong process. Finding the topics, tasks, and industries that fascinate you takes a lot of thoughtful self-reflection, attention, and effort. The ways in which you might incorporate your hobbies into your life differ greatly from person to person. Some people pursue their passions in their spare time outside of work, while others prefer to devote their entire working lives to them. Your decision will be based on your passion, whether it can be easily translated into a sustainable income, and whether you want your paycheck to be linked to your passion. Paying attention is the best method to figure out what you're enthusiastic about. Certain topics, projects, or hobbies are likely to excite, fascinate, or satisfy you on a daily basis. The role of passion or duty in a career path. Passion not only motivates you to enjoy your profession, but it also assists you in overcoming problems at work. Remember the beneficial impacts of the work you're doing whenever you hit a snag or begin to doubt your ability. What does it mean to have a career passion? Passion is defined as a strong desire or enthusiasm in a certain activity or cause that people enjoy. A career, on the other hand, might be regarded as a journey that everyone embarks on in order to survive. What exactly is passion, and why is it so crucial? A passion motivates you to keep studying and striving for mastery. It can often provide motivation to travel and, as a result, to have the fresh experiences that are so important to happiness. It provides you with something in common with others, fostering social relationships. Passion or career, which is more important? You don't have to work a day in your life if you're passionate about the professional work you're doing because you're actually enjoying it. Financial restrictions compel you to accept uninteresting work. Finding and converting your passion into a career, on the other hand, only inspires you to do better. Why you should pursue your passions and not just do what's necessary. We are constantly told to follow our passions and not just do what is necessary. But how often do we take this advice? For many of us, it's a difficult thing to do. We worry about the risks, the time commitment, and the potential for failure. But there are ways to make it easier for ourselves. We can start by recognizing that following our passions is actually a form of risk management because we will be more satisfied with our lives and less likely to regret not having pursued what we wanted. We can also find ways to make the time commitment more manageable by breaking up big projects into smaller steps or setting aside specific times when we focus on them, like weekends or evenings after work. And finally, if we're worried about failing, we should remember that pursuing our passions doesn't. There are numerous ways to develop a passion for your work. Follow your passion is good advice, but it isn't enough to ensure a fulfilling career. It's equally as crucial to have the necessary abilities, make an effect, and be adaptive.